I'm ready to cook now.
Okay, so what are we starting with?
We're starting with all of the things that it listed here that we needed from our own kitchen. So olive oil, salt and pepper, a medium pot, a grilling pan, and a mixing bowl. Tea kettle not included. We are starting with the Acapulco steak tacos tonight. And so all of the ingredients are in here. We're expected to take about 30 to 40 minutes to make this recipe, and it's supposed to be easy, so let's see. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to put some water in the pot for the rice. We need 1.5 cups of water. Nope, it's in here. Cup and a half of water in our medium pot. We also want 1/2 tablespoon of salt and a pinch of pepper. So one of the tips on the while you cook refers to the salt. Whenever they are referring to salt in their recipe and the amounts, they are talking about kosher salt. So it did make a note that if you plan to use table salt, that you need to use 1/2 of the amount that's listed. So instead of 1 teaspoon, instead of 1/2 teaspoon, we want 1/4 of a teaspoon. Not this guy, this guy. I'm actually going to use the big one because that'll be easier. We're putting this in with our water. ¼ teaspoon. And a pinch of salt. So I'm just going to get a little bit into my
You need a pinch of pepper?
I mean a pinch of pepper. Yeah, this
pinch of pepper.
Is pepper. So we're just going to throw like, I don't know, I can't stick my fingers in there to get a pinch. So pinch. Look good?
It looks good.
What else do we need? Well, we might need the rice. So let's put the rice in there. The rice is in this little packet here. Okay. Get a little spoon, make sure all the rice gets wet. We want to bring this to a boil, it says. And then once it's come to a boil, then we'll start reducing the heat. So this is step number 2. It does let us know part of the ingredients will be used several times over here in the while you cook. So for instance, the cilantro that I'll be using will also be used in the rice, and the lime juice that I'll be using will be used in 3 different places. So we want to make sure not to use it all up on the one time. So we want to next mince the cilantro. A cutting board. I said a cooking board.
Cutting board.
A cutting board. So mincing the cilantro. It says on here no need to stem, so cilantro does come on the stems you see here. And it's saying just go ahead and mince that with it. No need to separate that.
Make sure you don't cut your fingers off while doing this either.
Yeah, that's important. Next step is to zest the lime. Then we're going to cut it in half.
And for those of you who think, where do I get a zester from? Well, you can get a zester from any of your grocery stores, or you can use a cheese grater.
With handy dandy cheese grater, we're zesting the lime. So you can see the little pieces that we're getting there, and we'll get all of this off of the grater here in a moment. Okay, we're going to call that good. The rice needs to cook for 15 to 20 minutes, so that's why we're using our time wisely and doing other things during that time. Lime zest complete. Now we're supposed to have the lime, and then we're going to juice it. and juice. Where's my muzzle?
Lime juice in the bottom.
This is coming to a boil.
Boiling.
So our instruction now is to reduce the heat and let it continue for another 10 minutes. Back to our pico de gallo. This is a chalet.
Looks like an onion.
And we are going to peel it and half it. I've never peeled one of these. I've heard that pronounced lots of different ways. I think it is just a word for a small onion, but shallot and chalet are the ways I've heard it pronounced.
I don't know.
I'm using the same cutting board because all of this stuff is going to go into the same place, so I'm not really worried about separating these flavors, although I am a big food separator. Don't like my foods to touch. I want to taste one flavor at a time. I understand they're all going to the same place. I get this, people. But I don't want to taste two different things in one bite. Sorry, does that make me crazy?
Yes.
Our instructions were to peel, so I'm kind of cutting off the ends here, and then to half. And then to cut into a 1/4 inch dices. I'm just gonna dice it up. I don't know if it's gonna be a 1/4 inch or not, okay? Now for the tomatoes I was going for.
Tomatoes.
The instructions for our Roma tomatoes are to core them and then to cut them diced as well in the 1/4 inch dices.
Tomato.
Onions.
Onion or chalet or
Onion.
and cilantro and zested lime.
And I don't know why you're going through that because we're still not done. We've got the jalapeno.
Oh,
Right?
freak.
This is what makes it el acapulco, is that we add a little spice. Now, it did give us in the helpful hints a spice alert, and basically to use as much or as little of the jalapeno as you like for how spicy your family likes their spicy.
Or non-mincing skills.
Non-mincing, that sounds more like it. So it's been about 15 minutes that we put our rice in, so I'm going to check on it. We want to, by the instructions, check and make sure that the rice is tender and that most of the liquid has been absorbed. Well, definitely the water has been absorbed. And it's pretty tender. So we want to start in the cilantro into the rice. Half of the amount of the cilantro total that we have. Put in the lemon zest and add a teaspoon of the lime juice. You have to fork it first. I'm not forking, I'm just...
To fork it?
You're supposed to fork it. Forking helps fluff the rice, but I'm just using the spoon. Spoon's fine. Half the amount of the cilantro. And the lime zest, all of it, right? It says to taste. I'm putting it all.
Okay.
Teaspoon of lime juice. This is still my 1/4, so I'm just going to do 4 of these. And a 1. And a 2. And a 3. And a 4. Back to all of our chopping board ingredients. This is all being used to make our pico de gallo, which is where our mixing bowl comes in. So combine our shallots, our jalapenos, our tomatoes, and the rest of the cilantro in a mixing bowl.
No.
So we also need to add to all of our veggies here a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Remember, we're going to use half of that, so we'd be talking about 1/8 of a teaspoon, and a tablespoon of lime juice. We are going to mix this together and then set it aside so that we can let the flavors marry. Take the steaks out of the packaging, rinse the steaks, pat them dry, and then we are going to season them with salt and pepper.
Fellas, my wife can cook, but she doesn't follow instructions sometimes to the T.
It didn't tell me anything about that until now. And it's too late because I'm hungry.
But she can cook. She wings it sometimes.
Fellas, if you know real women that cook, your ma, your big mama, we don't go by no recipe. So, steaks. Medium high heat. Rinse steaks. So it says on here that we are going to drizzle the steaks also with some olive oil. We want to grill until they're browned. A minimum internal temperature of 145, so it kind of depends on how you like your steak. We're going to make ours pretty well done tonight. So we're going to keep going here. Guys, this is super simple. You could totally do this for your wife for an anniversary or just a little surprise dinner and have her something that's unique that you took the time to spend to cook this stuff at home. That'd be good. You could sign up, get this going, make her a special meal, impress her, and lock it down if you haven't already, and have some good food to eat. And you can say that you did all of this even though it's telling you step by step how to do it. I'm just helpful hints, guys. Helpful hints. Lock it down.
And we are in no way paid by Home Chef.
No.
We are paying for this.
Yes. And you actually get $30 in credits if you refer someone else. So I'm going to show this video to my mom and dad and then refer them and get myself $30 for one of our meals. By the way, pricing on the meals.
Is it a link?
Yes, there's a link. And it also has it listed down here on your recipes too. So you can go to Facebook, to Twitter, to Instagram, and then this is thehomechef.com, and this is for specifically for this recipe. But you can go on and actually do like a little review of, hey, I thought this was too hard, or it didn't taste that good, or we need to add more lime juice, or whatever it may be. You can put suggestions there.
So if you see this video and you're interested in it, click the link and get signed up or try it.
Yeah. Just to give you an idea of the price. So that was one of the things that I asked my coworker. So she was all raving about it and all excited and all this gluten-free stuff. Again, that's not our reason for doing it. I just wanted some kind of new recipes to try. But she was raving about it, and I said, okay, but how much does this stuff cost? It's actually not that bad. For each dinner, it's $9.95, and that's for a serving of 2 people. So it may go up depending on how many you're feeding. But $9.95, and like I said, we were doing 2 meals. So each meal was about $10, and then you do have to pay for shipping. But again, you get coupons and things like that that come through. So sometimes you'll get credits or things like that to where you're not always paying that shipping. So I think we ended up, for our first order, because I had a discount, we ended up only paying $19.80, I think it was, for 2 dinners, for 2 people. You're going to spend way more than even the regular price of the $39, $40 on 2 dinners going out for 2 people for something like this. So it's actually a really good deal. Okay, we're going to go a little off the rules here. Again, we want to get our steaks pretty well done tonight. And they're probably at about medium, maybe medium well here. You're not supposed to slice them, or it's not in the instructions to slice them until after they're done cooking. But so that I can make sure that they get cooked thoroughly, I'm going to go ahead and slice now, at least a little bit. Maybe just in halves. So you guys can see, it's a pretty thick steak, so it's definitely still has some pink areas that I want to make sure are all the way done. And then I promise I will resume going by the recipe. We've got it about done. I'm going to go ahead and remove them off the grill, it says. The other part of the instruction says that with the remaining amount of the lime juice that you have, that you want to take that and actually drizzle or brush it onto your steaks. So, good old handy dandy barbecue brush and our lime juice, and just kind of drizzling and brushing it on. So the beauty of a cast iron is you don't have to really clean it completely. This is after I'd rinsed it off. This is the flavor from the steak. So you actually want to keep some of that, especially since all of this meal is going to marry together. You don't have to clean it completely off. One thing that the cast iron doesn't like is soap. It actually likes the flavors and the oils. That's what helps give it the flavor that it retains over the years. So the instructions here are to grill, quote unquote, our tortillas.
Okay, we have one tortilla that is charred.
Slightly charred.
On one side.
On one side. We'll work with it, okay?
We have 3 ready.
Okay. We can fill them with steak.
Steak.
That has been sliced and marinated in lime juice. We're going to top that with some pico. With our last little piece that was in our bag of cheese.
Cheese.
There you have it. Acapulco steak tacos by Home Chef. There's mine. There's the picture. What do you think?
I think she did a pretty great job.
Yeah.
But we're about to enjoy this food. Thank you for watching. Peace out.